Celeste,
I'm Amber.
and welcome back
Hello.
to our podcast. Um, yeah, I think today is gonna be freeform, just because I don't really
Yeah.
have much that. Well, I mean, there's topics that we can talk about, but I don't really want to do that this week. I'm just
Okay.
a lot is going on, and I'm just
Yeah, as
like,
usual.
yeah, and I don't know. I feel like now we can consider ourselves creatives, and sometimes we just need a break from
Yeah,
like creating content and stuff like that.
I
So,
definitely need a break from life right now, so this is
yeah,
great for me.
yeah,
How's your
for
week been?
um, well, it's Monday, but last week I don't even remember what I did last week. To be totally honest, I feel like every day is like the same,
Mm,
and
like
no,
Groundhog Day.
yeah, but yeah, I think what happened last week. I worked. I had some discussions with some friends
Okay.
that just just put me in a mood. And then I had to call another friend to calm me down.
Oh God.
Yeah, yeah, but
One of those discussions, I see.
well, I mean, it was more so like just like with everything going on and like people being reckless
Mm,
and like I feel like everyone by now knows my stance on like going out and not socially distancing
mm-hmm.
or just going out because whatever. And it's to me, and I think it's very true that it's very selfish of you to be not doing everything in your power to help other people.
That's fair. That's fair.
Um,
That's fair
and
to think that. I don't know if I agree 100%, but I feel you.
like I think, but there are ways to. I
Yeah.
well, I was talking to my friend who was like trying to calm me down. They were pretty much like, also there are ways to go out and do things and be safe or as safe
Yeah.
as possible. And I was like, that is true. I don't expect everyone to be like me and just
Mm,
not do anything. But I would like to hope that people are
some level of
more
effort.
responsible
Mm-hmm.
about it. And a lot of people are not being responsible. And that's what is pissing me off.
So I will say, yesterday we went to kind of like a little dinner get together. So we went with our two neighbors who are, we consider them in our bubble, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
because we spend time with them all the time.
Yeah.
They do the same stuff we do, which is hardly anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I babysit their kid and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So we went with them and their baby, and then met up with mutual friends and their one child. And I will say that's the most socializing I've done since March, early March.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, I still felt guilty. I was like, I shouldn't be doing this. We ate dinner outside. We all sat at like opposite ends of this big outdoor table they had, and they had us. If we were going to the kitchen or something or using the bathroom for anything, they wouldn't. They try to like keep us all out of the same space. Just like
Mm-hmm.
going in just like groups of two or something like that to try to you know do things a little bit better. But even still, I was just thinking, I was like, besides the one time where my partner and I stopped and got breakfast on the way somewhere, we were in the car. Besides that, I haven't done any of that stuff, and it just felt like new, I guess.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was really weird. So, yeah, because our neighbors are the only two people we've been hanging out with, and Jonah's just with his coworkers that he's with every day anyway. So, yeah, it was weird, but I do feel like we at least tried to do things right. Everybody was sanitizing and nobody was sharing stuff, and
Yeah.
so that was good. But you know, it's, I mean, there's always like the possibility of something going wrong, but I think if you're if there's some level of effort there, it's better than nothing. So you have these people who don't want to wear masks and they are going to concerts put on by
Jesus
stupid
Christ.
people that
Yeah.
obviously also don't care, and they're going to the beach in groups of 10 and shit like that, and that's just where things go wrong. But I think the people who are being patient and just little by little maybe doing different things, I think that's as good as it can get.
Yeah, I don't I have yeah, I agree with you. Like I think that if it's not often, you're not doing this like every day or maybe even like to be honest every week,
Yeah.
then I understand. Like I get it. I get the need for you to want to go out and do things and I totally get that. And I do think like I said before, like you can do it safely and as
Right.
responsibly as possible, but this person I'm talking about
Mm.
hasn't been doing that since the beginning.
Really. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
So,
frustrating to watch for sure.
yeah.
I have a few friends that obviously don't really give a shit, and it's hard because it's like if I'm scrolling through like Instagram or Facebook or something, I'll see their posts and they're like on a road trip with a bunch of friends or they're camping, and that typically that's socially distant, but only they're doing those activities only because that's really what's available right now is those
Mhm.
outdoor activities and stuff like that. But then when you go in a group of 8, 9, 10 people,
Yeah.
there's no point to being socially distant, right? And
Yeah.
then, on the same token, I scroll, a couple links down, and then I see someone who's talking about their sick uncle who, is in the hospital because they have COVID or something like that. So
Yeah.
it really irks me that so many people refuse to see reality. And I actually read this news headline like maybe yesterday or the day before, and it was like, your expected future life as you know it no longer exists. And I thought
Mhm.
about that for a while, and I'm like, that's pretty true. A lot of stuff that you thought you were going to do and the way you're going to do it is not going to be a thing anymore. Whether
Yeah.
it's, traveling in a certain way, going on cruises and, stuff like that. Like I know you love going on cruises. Like I don't really think that's going to be a thing for a long time,
Yeah. I
you know?
mean, I hope that cruising. I do hope that like large gatherings change because it is pretty gross. Like,
I will say I miss concerts. We were gonna. I mean, if this hadn't happened, we definitely would have gone to Lollapalooza in Chicago this year, and
oh,
that
that would have been
would have
fun.
happened just
Yeah.
if not this weekend, then maybe like the previous weekend. Just it's usually like the first few weeks of August. But yeah, because we were just thinking how much fun we had the last time we went, but at the same time, we probably came in contact with like 4 or 5 thousand people just in the course of like 8 hours that we were there.
Yeah.
So thinking about it, that type of stuff just won't really work for a while. And if they do try to do that stuff, like let's say next spring, all these festivals and concerts and stuff start getting
Mhm.
rescheduled, how is that really going to look? I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to be the same. There's always going to be that element of like weirdness, I think.
Um. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I don't know. I just yeah. I think I'm at this point where for me it like disrupts my like mental and emotional health and so
Mm,
I'm just trying to avoid those kinds of conversations or
sure.
not even have those conversations at all. Just like if you're dying, just text me or have one of your people text me. I don't know. And like I just, I'm just like, I think like right now, I'm gonna give myself like a month to like just kind of like feel, just to give myself some space to I guess come to more terms or find a way to balance like feeling like I don't know. It's very frustrating for me
Hmm.
because I feel like they're just and I was seeing this a lot on social media. Like I have a lot of FOMO because I see all these
Yeah.
other people doing all these things and I'm just like but I thought there was a virus outside. Like am I and it makes you feel crazy because it's like, oh, like, so is it really not that big of a deal? Like, is it really not that big of a deal? But all of the professionals are saying that it's a big deal. So where is the disconnect? Like, I thought that, like, I don't know, I guess maybe I was too naive to think that we were all in this together. Like, and,
Yes.
and yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. Obviously you can't control people, and, like, you can't, like, and that's not what I want to do, but I
Yeah, but
don't
you
know.
can.
I don't know how to feel when
Mm-hmm.
obviously you know that I am unnerved by the
Yes.
fact that you're still doing all of this and you're telling me about it, and it just shows me that you actually, it feels like you don't actually care about how I feel, because if you
That's
did,
probably
you
true.
wouldn't even bring it up, or it wouldn't
Yeah.
be something that we would even talk about. But the fact that you still do, it's like, so you don't care about my feelings at all, and I feel like that's pretty selfish and fucked up.
It
So
seems to me like they just were trying to get a reaction out of you anyway, because if they know how you feel about all that stuff, it's one thing to not give a shit, but then, to also spend all this time and effort trying to talk about all these crazy things you're doing right now to the one person that I personally know that cares the most is
yeah,
you, for sure. So, I mean, it's really that really just blows me, and I feel like that's not really somebody you need to have in your circle right now. Maybe later, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know this person. I don't really want to know who it is. But I
yeah,
really just feel like you might just have to put the blinders on for a while and let them
yeah,
do their thing in their own lane. They don't have to cross your shit. They don't have to cross your people. But really, I mean, it's like you said, you can't control people. But at the same time, you don't want to have to witness that if you don't have to.
yeah, agreed. Yeah, that's kind of like where I am. I'm just like, that's why I was saying before, like, I'm gonna have to, like, find, like, my peace in all this, because
Yeah.
I still very much, if you're, I mean, honestly, if you're someone that I regularly talk to, I do, like, truly care about you. And so, yeah, I don't want you to be going out and getting sick or anything like that, but
Hmm.
I also have to protect my peace as well. So,
And
I
you also
agree.
don't want to be, resentful and then be like, "I told you so," when them or someone they know, gets sick or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's just, I think it's for me, if it was me, because I'm at this stage where I'm getting rid of a lot of toxic people in my life. I just cut the brakes right there.
Yeah.
It's like, I used to have this like three strike rule, but now it's just like, okay, if I feel like there's no recovery to this, what's the point, right?
Yeah.
If they want to fix things, they notice something's gone wrong, they'll reach out. But I'm not gonna break my neck trying to keep things afloat anymore. That's just
Yeah.
not how I'm trying to operate these days. So
Yeah. I mean, I 100% agree, because through all of this, I mean, I feel like you should really be realizing, if you haven't realized before, that, like, life is too fucking short. And
that, and also you're knowing who actually cares about you because they're checking on you,
yeah, I feel
right?
like
So
yeah, this time,
yeah,
like, this whole thing is, like, really bringing to light, like, who are the people in your circle that you are going to keep, and who's
yeah,
gonna, like, go, or just
and
kind of, or, like, just fizzle out. Yeah.
And I'm not even saying they need to be like, oh my God, how are you? It's been 3 days, I haven't
Mm-hmm.
talked to you. But
Yeah.
just like, even just like quick, text like, hey, yeah, I saw this in the grocery store and thought of you.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that, just to like strike up a quick conversation. That means a lot more to me than anything.
Yeah.
It's just, it's really tough to figure out what the deal is with that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. But that was pretty much
yeah,
the
sorry you're
tea.
having to go through that.
That's pretty much what happened last week. Besides work and stuff, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I have it's been weighing heavy on like my heart and like
Sure.
my mind for like months now, and yeah, I just like got to a point where I was just like, I don't know if I can do this any longer, but
Yeah.
for
So those
now,
are,
yeah,
yeah.
but yeah,
I was gonna say, I mean, it just seems like those are the kind of people, like the people who have been doing what they want from the start because they don't give a shit.
mm-hmm.
Those are not the people that, if anything else happened, it would be the same situation. They're gonna do what they want anyway.
Yeah,
So, it's like you said, like I thought we were all in this together. Like, not really. Some people just don't care, and that's okay. But they can not care over there without my
yeah,
input and energy. So yeah, I've definitely had to I'm not gonna say cut a few people loose, but because that sounds kind of mean, but definitely have had to really ignore some people and say, okay, they're
mm-hmm.
gonna do what they want. At least I don't have to come into contact with them because they would be bringing that crap around me.
Yeah,
Now, if they make it through all this and they never get sick, that's great. But that's, they're really, really betting on, you know, some
luck.
miracle shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's like you're at a concert, oh, but it's outdoors and, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, but you're still, using the same bathroom and buying drinks and handling money with 3,000 other people or whatever. So,
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. It just
yeah,
doesn't make sense.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I don't know. Yeah. How was your week?
oh, yeah, not good. Not good. Um, yeah, so I worked about 60 hours.
Ugh.
I was getting up, so I typically log in around 9 and knock off around 6 o'clock. But this week I was getting up and starting work at like 7 or 7:30 and then getting off around probably like 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Wow.
Um, yeah, most days like 8:30, 9 o'clock. There's a couple days where I started even earlier and ended around the same time. So I just got pretty burnt out by Wednesday. I was like, oh my God. And then I
Mm-hmm.
talked to my boss and she was like, oh yeah, yeah, if you want to take a day next week, that's fine. But we really need you to help us out with these few things for the rest of the week. And I was like, okay, but like, I'm dying over here. So
Yeah.
I definitely took today off. I still was answering emails, but I didn't like log in and all that stuff. So it was good to just not have to feel like I had to like keep up with everything for the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a nice little 3-day weekend, if you will. But yeah, I just had some like more family drama going on, which is I'm not gonna get into that because
Yeah.
it involves a certain person in my family, and I'd rather not rope my whole family into it. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they're just kind of letting me down. So it's been
Yeah.
it's been hard to have to deal with that. I guess like I've been in the stage where I don't want to deal with it, and it's not having the results I hoped it would. I don't
Yeah.
feel like fresh and new and happy. I feel like still weighed down by it. So then when it
Yeah.
comes to the point where it's like confrontation, like what happened a couple times last week, at that point I'm just exhausted and I'm saying stuff that is if it's not coming off the wrong way, it's just mean because I'm just over it.
Yeah.
Kind of done dealing with it. So, but I had somebody remind me earlier that they're a grown ass person and they're gonna do what they want to do. Just like I was telling you, that's why I'm so adamant on you dropping this dude that or person. I'm saying dude in like general sense. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's a who it is, but
Yeah.
I think you should drop that person because it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. Like
Yeah.
it's not worth it. Like I'm at the point like I used to like sit around and think, oh, what are they doing right now? I bet they're doing X, Y, and Z. And now it's just like, okay, well, I'll just hear from somebody else if something interesting or important happens. But for the
Mm-hmm.
most part, I have the gist of what they're choosing to do, and it's just not what I'd like to see. So,
Yeah.
but anyways,
Yeah.
other than that, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I
This was
100%.
supposed to be an upbeat episode.
No, I. I
This
think. I
was
mean,
supposed to be less depressing than last week.
I don't know. I think. Okay. Well, I agree. I think family stuff is just hard because they're your family,
Yeah.
and we have these expectations that we're all supposed to get along.
Yeah, this
But
is like immediate family too, not like,
yeah,
my uncle's cousin,
yeah, yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah,
this is immediate family. So
yeah, yeah. I
it
think I
hurts a
kind of
lot more.
huh?
I think it hurts a lot more for sure.
Yeah,
So
it definitely does, and I 100% understand. Yeah, yeah. Family shit is just hard, and granted, like I haven't had to cut any family off yet, but but
yeah.
I do. Yeah, I agree with you. I do think that yeah, you sometimes just have to let them be, and unfortunately, but also fortunately, heal on your own
hmm
and figure out a way to cope and deal with the bullshit. I read this. I know I talk about therapy a lot, but I think therapy is extremely important. And I was reading, I was on Twitter, and someone was like, a lot of people who are in therapy are there because of other people who refuse to be in therapy. And I was like,
Oh, damn. That's probably true. That's true as hell, actually. Mm. Yep. All three of my problem people should definitely have some of that going on. That's just not. Oh Lord.
yeah. So yeah, and it's real. Like I have been. I mean, as much as like the people in my life don't want to ever admit that the reason why I'm in therapy is because of them, but that is
hmm
the reason why I've been in therapy
Yeah.
many times. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, I agree. I think you've done a pretty good job with the resources that you have to get through and to push through with what you're dealing with. So I
Thanks.
think that is something that you should totally be proud of and
I
grateful
appreciate that.
for. Yeah, and
You know,
extend yourself grace because it's hard. Like it's not easy what you're going through, and
it was kind of weird because Thursday Thursday night, Friday, like Wednesday through Friday was like the height of the drama for me in multiple realms, and I woke up on Friday and I was like, I need to talk to somebody like now because I'm just like, it's like having panic attacks and stuff. Like I've had issues with panic attacks for about the last probably the last 4 or 5 months.
mm,
Um, Before I made some like life changes and location changes and stuff like that, I was having them every week. But now I'm at the point where I've just had a few, and the few that I've had in the last couple months have been very. I can feel them coming. They don't come out of nowhere like they were previously. So
mm-hmm.
it's a lot of like built up
Yeah,
stress and anxiety and stuff that kind of cause them. But anyways, I had a panic attack on Thursday night and like slept terribly. Woke up and I was just in pain. Like my back was killing me. I don't know. I like slept all weird and crazy. Um, but I woke up and I was just like, I need to talk to somebody right now because I I just don't know what to do.
yeah,
Like I wasn't. It wasn't like from like a danger standpoint. It was just like I need
mm-hmm.
some direction now.
Yeah.
You know.
Like you feel
And so,
frustrated. Yeah,
oh yeah, yeah, beyond frustrated for real.
yeah,
But I was like, okay, well, the therapy stuff that I was trying to figure out wasn't really working because um, I was trying to sign up, and not to get into too many details, but the way my insurance is set up, like the way my bank account is set up, the way my insurance is set up, I have an extremely high deductible, so I'd have to pay out of pocket for everything, and it's just, I was like, if I can avoid it, I'm gonna find a different mode, right?
mm-hmm.
So I did. I was looking, and I'm like, is there like I don't know, like a phone line or something I could call and just talk to somebody for
Mhm.
like 15 or 20 minutes or whatever. And all I was getting back was like, crisis hotlines, suicide hotlines, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to save that for someone who really needs that in the moment. So
Mhm.
I'm not going to waste their resources because I don't know what else to do. So I'm looking a little bit harder. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll try one of these apps. And, I kind of thought it would be like just like an instant, you get put in touch with someone. Of course, you got to pay or whatever. But
Yeah.
I did all this stuff. I filled out my demographics. I wrote like a little short piece on what I was looking for and issues I was having. And they were like, okay, great, we'll get back to you in about 48 hours. I'm like, what? Like, how? I'm just like floored that there's nothing that I've been able to find, you know, um, that is instant. And
Yeah.
I can't even imagine how many people get to that point where they, it's like me, they've been putting off therapy, they've been putting off talking to someone about all their
Mhm.
issues, they've been putting off all this stuff, and they get to that point where they're like, I need someone now. I'm not doing this right now.
Yeah.
And then you gotta wait, So I had to wait the
Mhm.
whole weekend. They even sent me an email and they apologized because it took a whole extra day than they said it would. And so I
Yeah.
got put in touch with someone um, like this morning, and so I'm going back and forth with her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, just schedule, the appointment." I'm looking, her availability is terrible,
Oh
so
man.
I'm like, "Is there any way we can meet today, like just for a few minutes?" And she was like, you want to just chat for 30 minutes?" I was like, "Yes, anytime today, please, please, please." No
Mhm.
answer, and this was like
Uh.
early in the morning. It was probably like 10 a.m. So they really just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth all over again because again, it just kind of feels like uh, people with mental health issues are just so undersupported. And I'm not. There's nothing. That's nothing against the counselors and therapists and
Yeah.
psychiatrists and everything like that. But you have to go through so many hoops and jumps and leaps just to get in touch with these people, and then they don't have time for you because there's 8 other people that they have to attend to that day. So I'm really just like I don't really know what to do in the instant, but I put something on the calendar anyway, but I'm not gonna be able to talk to her until next Wednesday apparently. And so I know that especially now with what's going on, I think a lot of people are trying to take care of their mental health a little bit more. But I just kind of feel um, I don't really know how I feel. It's just really frustrating that this of all things, like you can't get help. You just
Yeah.
can't. You have to wait. You have to wait. If you're really struggling, you're in a crisis right now. Your option is to call these crisis hotlines, and that's like the last resort. Like that should be the last resort. Hopefully, you've had some other things that have been able to help you, but if you just have like a really bad time, that's your like last resort sort of thing. And for a lot of people, I think that also might turn them off because they're like, oh my gosh, like I can't talk to someone for 2 weeks or whatever because they're booked up, or I can't afford it, so I got to find this other person who is taking on a bunch of other clients and patients because they have the most affordable rates, and then I got to get put on this wait list just to talk to them and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And by that point, it's just all of the rest of the wind is taken out of your sails. So it's just weird. And the cycle repeats. You just go back to dealing with it on your own.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that was
I.
my little rant, but
No. No.
I'm,
No.
I'm
I
good.
want.
I am good, but
Yeah.
it's just
It's definitely
it's really
frustrating.
frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I 100% agree. Like I definitely, as much as I am, yeah, an advocate for mental health, I understand that it's not extremely accessible,
Yeah.
and because you have to have money to do
Right.
to have mental health care, and be like, yeah, there aren't a lot of like resources for mental health, like because it's not something that we put stake in as a society.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I am also like an advocate for mental health resources that is available to any and everyone, because any and everyone like deserves that. So yeah, I mean, I agree. My experiences tend to be the same. Like, I'll sign up, it'll take like some time, a few days to a week or so to get back, to be put on a schedule and things like that. And I think because I've been doing it so long, I'm used to that. So
Okay.
I like, but yeah, I agree. Like, as someone who probably hasn't done it a lot, or this is their first time, it can be a little frustrating to be like, I need this in the moment and I can't get it. And now I
Yeah.
have to wait and sit with my thoughts. And if you are worried that you are going to harm yourself or harm others, I still would recommend calling the crisis hotlines. And we'll put some in the description notes, and make sure that you're getting and using all the resources that you need and want. For people who are lower income, a great resource if you want quote unquote cheaper mental health care, you can look up your local state university and see if they
Mm-hmm.
have psychology centers, and they will provide, and if they do have one, sometimes depends on the school, but they will have like psychology centers where they will provide mental health counseling, and it's on a sliding scale. So it depends. How much you pay depends on how much you earn. It's based on how much you earn. So I think when I was going like 2 years ago, I think I was making like 40,000 or something like that. So it was like $40 every
Okay.
session. So like $40 a week, which to be honest, that's kind of a lot. Like,
Yeah, it's still a
so,
lot, but that's
and but
better
that was
than what
without,
I was seeing.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, now because I have insurance, if I was to go to like any other place, it would be like 60. So it's $60 a session. So I mean, those are some of your options. There's also like Talkspace and Better Health. They tend to be on the pricier side because they don't take insurance.
Yeah, Better Health is what I'm trying to use.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. They do. I noticed they have like promos. So like if you get referred or you
Yeah.
find like a coupon code, they might give you like a free week or something like that. But then
Yeah.
also, I did see that when I was signing up, there's a there's a checkbox at the bottom that of like one of the main forms that said I can't afford mental health care, and you could check the box. I'm not sure what it did. I didn't want to check it, because
Yeah.
obviously I'm not in the position where I'm struggling to
Mhm.
pay, but I was just curious what that button did. I'm guessing maybe they might, like you said, like refer
Yeah.
to some more affordable resources, or maybe even some sort of donation based plan or something that they have set up that I just
Yeah,
don't know
maybe they
about.
do it on a sliding scale or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I I would highly suggest doing that. When I was researching like um kind of like cheaper or more affordable alternatives for mental health care, that is something that I found. So yeah, I 100% agree though. Like, mental health is extremely important, and people need access and resources to all that. So hopefully.
Yeah, I will say just one more thing, so our listeners know I'm good. I,
uh,
I I would say I've definitely gone through points where I've been much lower than this, and I'm not really going to reflect on those right now. But I will say when I was thinking I needed to talk to someone at that point, I was really needing it because I felt like I was gonna make some sort of decision that would reflect badly. Like I might have called this person that I was having these issues with, and really just kind of tore into them, said some stuff that's, inexcusable, or, I don't know, maybe done some like retail therapy and bought some useless thing I didn't need that cost way too much money. So I was thinking of it from that standpoint, more of like I'm trying not to make mistakes today,
Yeah.
or, more mistakes or whatever. Luckily, but I know in a lot of cases people are way past that point, and they're ready to harm themselves or others, or you know just stuff like that. And it's really hard now that I'm actively trying to uh, get help. It's hard to see just how difficult it can be, especially when it's like, I think for a lot of people, they don't want to do therapy because it's like, I know you've said in the past, like there's a stigma still against um, wanting to prioritize your mental health, and people think that therapy or talking to a psychologist or something is for those far out crazy people.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of the negative stigma that still exists, unfortunately. Not everyone
Mm-hmm.
thinks that, of course, but there are a lot of people that still think that way.
Yeah.
And so, I know for a lot of people, it's like a pride thing too. It's like, I want to fix this myself. I'm going to do it myself. But sometimes you really just can't. And if you don't do it, then it gets to the point where you never really recover. And you always have these issues that just kind of eat away at you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I agree. I was, excuse me, sorry. Yeah, I know you said we weren't going to get too deep into this, but I will say I also was toward like the end of college, or the end of like the 4-year university I went to, like this our senior year. I was very much in the deepest, darkest hole that I'd ever been, ever.
mm-hmm.
And I was like
Same.
extremely depressed, and like to the point where like I only did absolutely the bare minimum of what I needed to do, which was go to work, and not even do classes or anything. It was literally just go to work and pay my bills so I can at least have a place to silently be depressed.
You were working security then too, right?
Yeah.
That's right. I remember because I saw a lot of parallels in us, because I was pretty much doing the same thing. I didn't go to class. I was purposely picking overnight shifts because I didn't have to talk to anybody. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it was, yeah, it was bad too.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
bad.
and yeah, it really was. And I remember, and I think that was like honestly when I hit rock bottom, and then I decided. But before all of that, yeah, like you were saying, like I felt like I could fix myself
Yeah.
by myself. And I have been brought up to not be dependent on anyone, but
Hmm.
I realized in a lot, and like especially the past 5 to 6 years, that like it's okay to have to lean on and be dependent on other people because you don't have all the answers. You
Mm-hmm.
can't. And you shouldn't. Because that's not the point of living life. And so, yeah, and then, granted, like, I didn't have, like, such a bad, I didn't really have any, like, negative connotations or bad, I don't want to say bad, but, like, I didn't have any negative connotations with therapy. So I knew therapy was a way to help me, but it was definitely getting me there was, like, a very
Yeah.
hard thing. And I had to, like, really hit rock bottom to like get myself there. And then after that, like, you know obviously, like, I still have my days where I'll, especially if I'm super high stress or anything like that, that I'll have panic attacks. Or I haven't had one in like a year, but
That's good.
yeah, but that was because I was having panic attacks because I was taking 3 classes in 8 weeks, and that was terrible. But but yeah, that was like a year. That was literally a year ago. Yeah, and but other than that, like, because I had hit that rock bottom point back in like the end of 2015, beginning of 2016. I started, because I hit that point, I started going to therapy, and I really honed in on tools to help me get through my anxiety and depression on a day-to-day basis. Like, I do have, like, chronic depression. Like, that's just how I'm built, and that's fine. Like, I'm still okay, and I'm doing well. But, yeah, like, having those tools and, like, and helping day-to-day stuff is extremely helpful. And therapy definitely did help me with that. Not to say that, like, you have to go to therapy to, like, to get those tools, because there are so many, like, resources there are so many resources online. There are also, like, holistic therapists and different kinds of therapists who post stuff on, like, social media to help people get through and, like, develop tools for, like, day-to-day stuff, especially if you can't afford therapy. I'll link some of my favorite ones on Instagram. I follow a ton. And I'll link some in the description notes so that, like, people can look at them and be like, oh, okay, like, this is someone, because they have, like, good infographics and stuff like that. And you know, if you're serious about therapy and you're serious about working on your mental health, you can implement those tools and get to where you need to get. But yeah, like, I totally feel you on that. Like, it's definitely hard, and, you know, we're gonna get through it. You're gonna get through it. You're gonna be a better person because of it. And I mean, honestly, you're doing the first steps, which is, you know, actually going out and trying to get the help, because that sometimes is, like, the hardest part of therapy, is going to get the help. Because then once you start getting the help, then you're like, you still have to, like, do the actual work of, like, looking inward and stuff like that, and you know, and that can be hard as well. But I bet you, like, in a year's time, if you're still, like, regularly doing therapy, you're gonna be like, wow, like, I can't believe, like, where I am now a year into all of this. Like,
yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, because I tweeted this, like, a few weeks ago. I was like, because I've been depressed and anxious, like, these past 4 months, because, you know, coronavirus. And I tweeted this. I was like, me being anxious and depressed 5-6 years ago is different than me being anxious and depressed now, because of the tools that I have. And yeah, like I said before, you know, I do still have depression and anxiety, but the way it manifests and now versus, like, before, and, like, the tools that I have, and how much, like, I know about, like, my body, and, like, I recognize when something is stressing me or triggering me, and so I know when to unplug or, you know, reshift, and so I can help myself. And those tools are extremely helpful, and a lot of those tools I learned in therapy. So yeah, I totally understand. And yeah, you're definitely going to get to that place where you're going to be like, okay, this is making sense. I'm feeling a lot better, and
I'm ready for that.
Yeah. And, like, just once you're in therapy, just put in the work, and you're going to see results for sure. So yeah. No, this was a very interesting.
Well then. That's a tangent if I've ever seen one.
Yeah. I mean, hey. I think it's important to talk about now, because I feel like a lot of people are going through the same things.
Yeah. It was like a check-in more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, but yeah. I just I don't know. I'm just hoping for the rest of this year to just be I don't know. I don't know.
Less terrible.
Yeah, but I feel like every day it's just worse and worser.
Mm.
And just like I was watching the news and like I guess I was catching up on like the news and stuff, and like the Iowa thing happened with this crazy ass storm that they
Yeah, that
had.
was crazy up here.
Ah, jeez. And then like California had like California
All
might
those
be having
fires.
blackouts soon because it's just so goddamn hot.
Oh yeah.
And
It
like
hit 130 degrees in Death Valley.
yeah, I saw that. Like what the hell? And then like over on the East Coast, it's like been raining for the past 2 weeks because of all of the fucking storms.
Mm.
Like it's, I mean, I'm thankful for like the cooler nights because it's been really
Yeah.
fucking hot. But yeah, but it's been like flooding in Virginia and parts of Virginia. It's like really bad flooding.
Hmm.
So I'm just like everything's it's just so much. I feel like it's just always a lot the past 4 months or 5 months. Is it 5 months now?
Yeah.
It's just always
Yeah,
been
it's
a
been about
lot.
5 months.
And yeah.
Actually, it's like I think it's 5 months to the day that my partner and I started quarantining because I think we California where we were, I think they went on lockdown March 17. Right? Yeah, yeah. Today's the 17th. It's
I don't remember
crazy.
when I got back from my cruise. Yeah, I got back from my cruise on the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
No, lies, on the 13th.
Okay. Yeah, you
Yeah.
went into full on freak out mode when you got back. You're like, I'm not talking to anybody until I finish my quarantine.
I mean, I was literally just on a cruise. Like I
Yeah,
didn't I didn't want anything to happen. And like I we
of
were
course.
like freaking out because I mean, I feel like I've talked about this before on the podcast, but like when we were on the cruise, every day cuz I didn't have internet for real, or did I? I don't remember. But like the other people in my group had internet, and I think I had like a little, I don't remember. I think my internet package was smaller than theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And but so they had like full access to like everything, and they just like every day just kept reading the news, and it was just getting worse and
Oh,
worse. And I was just
yikes.
like, are we going to even be able to get off this cruise ship? Like if we
Right.
stay on this cruise ship, I'm going to blow a
There,
gasket. Like I just
there were a couple that they couldn't let them off immediately.
yeah. And so yeah, that was hard, but yeah, I yeah, yeah, it's been too long. Like like I went to go see my parents like it's probably like a month ago now, and like legit like I couldn't even like hug my parents,
Oh,
like it just, and I really should have just like came and then left. But because I had my mask on, I like came inside the house, but I didn't touch anything. I washed my hands, I sanitized, like, and I didn't sit anywhere or anything. I was standing. I stayed away. I was like, keeping my
you just
distance
stopped
from
in.
people in the house. Yeah. And well, I had to like drop off the papers for the car.
Oh, okay.
But then but my dad wasn't at the house. He was at the other house, and I was like, "Oh my god." And then he was like, "Well, I'm going to come when I'm finished." And it had been like 30 minutes, and I was like, "Okay, I don't think you're finished anytime soon." So, oh, and then they hadn't seen my car, whatever. And so, and so like we went to like my dad's other house that he's working on, and like I stayed, like honestly I probably stayed a lot longer than I was comfortable with, but
Mm-hmm.
it just been so long since I had seen them. And also I had tested for COVID and I had tested negative, so um I felt a little bit better about like being around them, but I wore a mask like the entire time. Like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
uncomfortable. It was like a couple hours, but like I wore a mask the entire time. I kept my distance, um and yeah, like it just sucks. It just sucks. I'm also really grateful that I got to see my family in New York before all this happened, cuz
Mm-hmm.
I went to New York in February cuz I went to go see a live show at the
Mm-hmm.
Apollo. And so I saw like I stayed at my grandma's place, and that was awesome because my grandma's
Oh,
a
nice.
G. Like, she's great. And like I got to see like my mom and my aunts and stuff like that. And even though I did see them in November for Thanksgiving, but like I got to see
Mm-hmm.
them again. And uh
Because now you know it's going to be a while before you can go
yeah,
see them again.
yeah. So I'm grateful I got to see them before all this happened. God.
Yeah, it sucks. I haven't been back to Virginia since October of last year. So, and even that was just I was back for a weekend. So
Yeah.
that's that's kind of just how it's been for the last few years. I haven't really had the time or ability to get over there much, but
Yeah.
yeah, it kind of sucks. I
Yeah.
try not to think about it too much, but you
Yeah.
know, definitely miss my family.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I guess we should wrap it up here since we're all nostalgic now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's. I gotta think of what's got you hot though.
Uh, so welcome to our segment called What's Got You Hot.
What's got you hot?
I was gonna sing my little jingle. I'm not doing that. Oh, I got it. I got one actually. I
Did you
actually
see
got one.
that Am I the Asshole that I sent you on Instagram?
Oh no, I missed it. What's that one?
I
Let me
sent
look
you
actually real
someone's
quick.
story. I don't even what
Let me
was
see.
it?
How long ago was that? Because I'm not
I
even
think it was
checking
like
Instagram every
yesterday or
day.
the day before.
Trying to
It was sometime this weekend.
not
I don't
do.
even remember. It was someone's
Here it is. Let me
story.
see.
I don't even remember what the
Oh, it's
story.
gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that was on
gone.
Friday.
Yeah.
Damn.
I don't even remember what it was. But yeah.
I'm sure it was very asshole like though.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, I will. I will go back and read. I still use Facebook daily, and so I'm still getting these like time hop, uh, throwback things, posts and stuff from my past. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick because I got one this morning. And I was like, oh wow, I totally forgot how pissed off I was at this day. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Damn, this might take.
I feel like I probably don't post. I didn't post. I stopped posting on Facebook enough for them to do that thing. Because I
Yeah,
don't
well, I
get
started.
those.
Yeah, I started using the little time hop things to um clear out like the crappy posts that I used to post when I didn't, give a shit about who saw my social media or anything.
Yeah, fair.
Dang, now I can't find it. Anyways, I remember the gist of it. I was gonna read it word for word, but oops. Yeah. So this was I think in 2012. So I was shopping with my mom for dorm stuff for college because I was going off to college and just getting like last minute things. But anyways, we were in Target in my hometown where my parents are, and we were standing there. This is what I read this morning. We were standing there looking at some storage bins, like just some typical Rubbermaid,
Yeah.
three drawer storage bins. And so I was trying to decide, what colors I would get, trying to match everything, whatever. And this lady and her daughter walk up, and they end up standing next to us, and they're looking at the same sets of bins. And so I was kind of talking to my mom, and I just, we were just standing there, like, just small talk, whatever. I think we got distracted or something. But when the lady and her daughter walked up, they were talking about the bins. And so the mom is like, oh, what about these? What about these? She's pointing at the different ones. Mm-hmm. And then she goes, oh, look at these over here. And she kind of points, like, she reaches her arm across where I was standing, because we're kind of standing, like, nearly shoulder to shoulder. So she kind of reached her arm across me and pointed at the black set that I was standing in front of. And so she goes, oh, look at these. They're a few dollars cheaper, blah, blah, blah. And she, she's like, oh, what about them? Do you want these? And the girl, kind of scoffed, like, she was like, ugh. She goes, oh, they're probably cheaper because they're black. Don't buy those. And then the mom was just, like, totally silent. And I looked at my mom like, do you hear this bitch right now? Like, oh, my gosh. The look on my mom's face was pure rage. But, like, that, like, internal furnace of a rage where it's like, I know I'm not going to say anything today, but if I wanted to, I would go the hell off. Yeah. So the girl said this, didn't even, like, nothing registered how rude that sounded, regardless if you don't like the color black or not. You're not going to say something like that, especially when you're standing next to two black women. So, so the mom was like, we'll come back to it later. And she kind of just took her and, like, they kind of, walked away really quickly. And my mom looked at me and she's like, this is the shit I'm talking about. Like, she went off. Like, she went on a full-on rant. I don't even think we bought anything else. I think we went to the checkout and just left because we were so upset.
Yeah. Oh, my God. This is the shit I be talking about. Yes.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. So that was kind of like, I read that this morning and I got mad all over again.
Yeah.
Because I can still remember it so clearly. It's like just this, like, stupid little Hollister chick with her, straightened blonde hair, probably damaged and stuff, and, wearing her little tight clothes, and her mom just looked like she did everything for her anyway. But just the way she said it just sounded so hateful. And the mom, like, I'm sure the mom was, like, a decent lady, because she was like, oh, she was trying to say, oh, this is the cute color, what about this, what about this? And then she gestures to the black one, she goes, oh, these are a few dollars cheaper, what do you think about these? She's like, ugh. And as soon as she made that noise, I was like, oh, wow. Like,
yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
But I say all that to say, if that was, like, yesterday, I don't know if I would have been able to hold back. I don't think I have that in me anymore. Because I'd be seeing stuff all the time, and I don't care. I'll just say what I want to say. Mm-hmm. If you have a problem with me, you have a problem with me. But it's like, if I was standing next to them and they said that today, I probably would have cursed that girl out, honestly. Yeah. Like, what the hell is your problem? Like, it's just the way to go about things. It's just not right, so.
Yeah.
Anyways, that pissed me off all over again 8 years later.
Yeah, that's... I don't think her mom's a good person because she didn't even, like, call her out.
Yeah, she didn't say anything. But I know she left. They left real quick. So yeah. I know she was really uncomfortable. I hope she said something to her, but, I'm just glad I didn't know her,
Yeah.
Because I would have said something if I knew her, but, back then I was just sheltered. Sheltered little 18-year-old. So.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. Ugh. God.
So what's got you hot besides your friend who's being a jackass?
I don't know. I think nothing's got me, like, pissed off or anything, but, like, also, like, nothing's got me, like, super hype. I know school starts in, like, a week, which is but also, like, I'm low-key kind of, like, itching to do something. Like, this entire summer all I did was work, like, and that was it. Like, I needed this time off because the last summer, like I kind of talked about before, I took 3 classes in 8 weeks, and that was terrible.
That's crazy.
So, I thought I was Superwoman and could do it, and I did. I just about nearly died, though. But, I would never do that again. You can't pay me to do that again. But yeah, it worked out. I passed all my classes, but yeah, I was like, this summer I'm taking a break. I know my mom was like, well, you can take at least one class. I was like, no.
No.
Or I can
What part
take
of
no
break do you
classes.
not understand?
I was like, you're not even paying for the classes. Like, no.
You're like, I need 3 breaks at this point. Shit.
For real. Yeah.
Gotta recover.
So I was just, yeah, so I've been, so yeah, but like I'm excited for school to start, mostly because this is my last year at my community college that I'm currently at, which means that I'm graduating, which is like weird. It's not weird because obviously like I would have graduated at some point, but it's like I'm trying to reframe my like brain around it because I've been like there's this idea like of for me there's this idea of you should have been done this blah blah blah, you've been in college for so long, but like also when I first started going to college it wasn't really about going to college, it was about escaping my reality at 18, and that's exactly what I did, and then it didn't the whole college part, it wasn't because I wasn't smart or anything, I just couldn't get it done because my mental health was just so bad.
Yeah.
And so I had to leave and start anew, and that's what I've been doing, and I constantly have to remind myself, irregardless of the fact that like you are in community college, you also have a job that most likely pays better than most of your peers who do have a degree. So yeah, probably especially now more than like when I first started, because I've been getting raises, well, except for this year, but yeah, so yeah, I am like really proud of myself and really excited for this last year. Granted, it's not the end of like my schooling because I'm only getting an associate's degree and I'm going for a bachelor's, maybe a master's, I don't know. Bachelor's for sure. But yeah, and so I'm excited. I am very excited for this semester to start because that means that in 2 years in a year I'll be applying to 4 universities, and a year from that I'll hopefully be starting my bachelor's again, and 3 years from that I should be graduating. So it's just the past couple weeks I've been planning like this entire new chapter or this new phase in this chapter of my life.
Yeah.
And that's been exciting and also nerve-wracking because, I definitely am afraid that I'm going to fail or not succeed as like the last time, but I constantly have to also remind myself that you're not the same person you were back then.
Yeah.
You're a completely different person with a completely different mindset, and the fact that like you still went to community college and I failed one class, but that was because I was being overzealous. But also like I was working full-time and I still am working full-time and going to school part-time, and that's already hard in of itself. And so I have to constantly A, give myself grace, and B, remind myself that I'm a bad bitch regardless. So
there you go. And also, I mean, you're doing it the way that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
Whereas before you did what you thought you needed to do.
Yeah.
This time around it's different because you're making your own path and your own decisions 100%.
Yeah.
Where your mom's like, oh, you should take more classes, and you're like, nah. Because it doesn't make sense this summer to do that.
Yeah.
You didn't want to do it. So yeah, it's going to take a little bit longer, but you're doing it the right way. And when it's all done, you can look back and, at least you did it the right way. You didn't struggle through it again because you felt like you had to.
Yeah. That's something that I have to constantly remind myself. So, yeah. I 100% agree. Yeah. And
well, good.
Yeah, so this got me hot this week. And, Yeah, school starts next week. Yeah. Also, shout out to, I know we're rounding out the episode, but shout out to Campbell. His birthday is going to be either the day this is released or the day before this is released. So shout out to Campbell.
Oh,
happy birthday. And he's going to be really excited when he listens to this. Anyway.
They're talking about me. I'm kidding.
So yeah. But that's our episode.
Yeah, so thank you everyone, for listening in and tuning in and listening to us kind of check in with our mental health and how we're doing. We hope to have you join us for the next episode, and we'll talk to you then.
Yeah, don't forget to email us at theslightsarcasmpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on our social medias.
Yep. Did want to mention we will be putting some of the links that we talked about earlier in the show notes. But yeah, this was the Slight Sarcasm Podcast. I'm Amber.
I'm Celeste.
And we'll talk to you soon. Bye.